Ancient Greek philosophy is not just a school subject, it is the foundation of how we think about nature, ethics, politics, and even happiness. Behind that thought, there must be names that are the originators. With so many names, it's easy to get confused. Who did what, and why do they matter? In this video, we'll take a fast walk through three major eras: the Presocratics, the Classical, and the Hellenistic era. Not just to memorize names, but to understand one key idea from each philosopher that made them famous. This era is called Presocratic because these thinkers lived before Socrates. Their defining question was, what is the universe made of? Thales of Miletus, considered the first Western philosopher, he claimed, everything comes from water, because water changes form: solid, liquid, gas. And he observed that life depends on it. His key contribution is nature can be explained by natural principles, not myths. Anaximander, Thales' student, he argued that the origin of everything is not water, but the apeiron, the boundless, indefinite something. He was also the first to draw a map of the world and to suggest that the Earth floats freely in space. Pythagoras, best known for the Pythagorean theorem, but for him, numbers were the essence of reality. He believed all things are numbers, the soul is immortal, and undergoes reincarnation. He founded a kind of religious mathematical community that later heavily influenced Plato. Heraclitus, famous for Pantarei. You cannot step into the same river twice. For him, change is the fundamental law of the universe. He also introduced the concept of logos, the rational order behind change. Parmenides, the opposite of Heraclitus. He argued that change is an illusion. What truly exists is the one, unchanging, eternal, graspable, only by reason, not by the senses. His logic, nothing comes from nothing. His thought became the foundation of Western metaphysics. The Presocratics taught us that human reason can explain nature without myths. But then, three giants emerged who shifted philosophy from nature to human beings and society. In other words, we were entering what could be considered the peak of philosophy at that time, namely the Classical era. Socrates. Socrates left no writings. What we know comes from his student Plato. He is famous for the dialectical method, asking relentless questions until the interlocutor realizes their own ignorance. Not to put people down, but to cleanse false assumptions. His motto, "The unexamined life is not worth living." He was sentenced to death by hemlock for allegedly corrupting the youth and not believing in Athens' gods. Plato, student of Socrates. Plato founded the Academy, the first institution of higher learning in the West. His biggest idea, the theory of forms, is the world we see is only a shadow of a perfect realm of forms. For example, we know what goodness is because there exists the form of goodness itself. In his book, The Republic, he designs an ideal state ruled by philosopher kings. For him, philosophy is not just thinking, it's a way to structure society. Aristotle, student of Plato. Yet his thought often contradicted his teacher. If Plato looked to the heavens, the world of forms, Aristotle looked to the earth. He was a meticulous observer. He wrote on ethics, politics, logic, biology, physics, poetry, and almost everything. For him, the essence of a thing lies within the thing itself, not in a separate realm. In ethics, he introduced the golden mean. Virtue is the midpoint between excess and deficiency. For example, courage is the mean between cowardice and recklessness. After Aristotle, the world changed. Alexander the Great, Aristotle's student, conquered vast territories, spreading Greek culture to Egypt, Persia, and India. Philosophy shifted from seeking ultimate truth to how to live a happy life in times of uncertainty. This is the Hellenistic era. Epicurus, often misunderstood as a vulgar hedonist. In fact, Epicurus taught, the highest pleasure is the absence of pain, aponia, and tranquility of the soul, ataraxia. He argued that we need not fear the death, because death is nothing to us. Live simply, enjoy good friendships, and pursue natural and necessary pleasures. He founded the Garden of Epicurus and a community that welcomed women and slaves, very progressive for its time. Zeno of Citium, founder of Stoicism. He taught at the Stoa Poikile in Athens. Stoicism teaches some things are within our control, like our thoughts, judgments. Others are not, like health, wealth, and reputation. Happiness lies in living in harmony with nature and reason. Stoicism later became hugely influential in Rome, producing figures like Seneca, Epictetus, and the Emperor Marcus Aurelius. They emphasized mental resilience and accepting fate with calm. Diogenes, the Cynicism. Diogenes also peaked in the Hellenistic period. He lived an extreme minimalist life, rejected social conventions, and famously lived in a barrel. Even dared to tell Alexander the Great to step aside because he was blocking his sunlight. He's famous for being a provocative social critique to show that happiness does not require wealth or status. From seeking the truth behind the creation of the universe to how to live a truly meaningful life, ancient Greek philosophy is not a collection of outdated theories. It is a series of human attempts to answer, what is reality? How should we live? And how should we organize society? They didn't always agree, but it is precisely from their disagreements that critical thinking, which we still inherit today, was born. Now, we have covered the philosophers from 3 different periods. Which one interests you the most? And see you in the next one, if fate brings us together again.